What if one single question could shred the mask off a manipulator, someone who's been twisting your life, pulling your strings and keeping you in the dark without you even realizing it? You've felt that nagging itch in your gut, that whisper telling you something's wrong. Their too perfect smile, their sly guilt trips, the way they leave you questioning your own sanity. But you've brushed it off, stayed silent, let it fester, because calling it out feels too risky. What if you could stop them dead in their tracks, peel back their fake face and see the raw truth underneath, all with just a few words? Carl Jung, the brilliant mind who unraveled the deepest shadows of the human psyche, understood how manipulators hide, and he knew exactly how to expose them. In this deep dive, I'm giving you a weapon sharper than any argument, a question so terrifying, so piercing, it'll force the puppet master in your life to reveal who they really are. Ready to flip the power dynamic and take back control? Buckle up, let's get started. You've crossed paths with them. Maybe it's that friend who always leans on you but disappears when you need a hand, or the partner who spins every argument until you're the one saying sorry for their mistakes, or the coworker who showers you with flattery only to dump their workload on your desk. They're smooth as silk, slippery as shadows, and they've got a knack for making you feel like you're the one who's off. Your stomach twists into knots, your mind churns with doubt, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Why? Because manipulators don't just play the game, they rig it, hiding right where you're too unsure or too polite to look, your blind spot. Let's break it down. They thrive on your emotions. Guilt is their favorite toy. I thought you cared about me, they sigh, and suddenly you're scrambling to prove it. They twist your words. I never said that, they insist, even when you know they did, and you start wondering if you're losing it. They dangle just enough charm or pity to keep you hooked. A compliment here, a sob story there. You felt the weight of it, stayed up late finishing their project because they're counting on you, said yes to plans you dreaded because they'd be so hurt otherwise, let them cross boundaries you swore you'd hold because it's not a big deal. It's a slow bleed, your energy drains, your confidence erodes, your life shrinks. Ever spent hours replaying their latest jab, trying to figure out what you did wrong, or skipped a night out because their poor me routine made you feel like the bad guy? That's them winning, keeping you off kilter, unsure, under their thumb. You're not fragile, you're just caught in their web. But Jung saw the threads and he knew how to cut them. Carl Jung wasn't here for surface-level nonsense. He dove headfirst into the messy, murky depths of the human soul. To him, manipulators aren't just annoying people. They're living, breathing shadows. The shadow in Jung's world is the dark underbelly we all carry. The greed, the fear, the hunger for power we don't like to admit exists. Most of us wrestle with it, try to keep it in check, maybe even learn from it. But manipulators, they don't fight it, they feed it. That need to control, to win, to bend you to their will. That's their shadow running wild. Problem is, they can't let you see it. It's too ugly, too real. So they slap on a mask, what Jung called the persona. The shiny polished front they parade around in. The selfless friend, the devoted lover, the fair boss. It's a costume, and they've spent years perfecting it. Here's where it gets juicy. That mask isn't bulletproof. Jung believed the shadow hates being seen, shine a light on it, and the whole charade falls apart. Manipulators rule because you buy the act. You see the persona, not the puppet master pulling levers behind it. Ever notice how they squirm when you push back? How they double down on charm or flip to anger when you get too close? That's the shadow twitching, desperate to stay hidden. Jung saw this as a power game. They need your confusion, your trust, your silence to keep the upper hand. But he also saw a weak spot, a chink in their armor. One question, rooted in his grasp of the unconscious, can stab right through that mask and drag the shadow into the open. It's not about out-talking them or outmaneuvering them. It's about hitting them where they're defenseless, their own truth. Let's paint a picture. Meet Sarah. Her sister was a pro-manipulator, always broke, always helpless, guilting Sarah into bailing her out with cash or favors. "You're all I have," she'd say, eyes wide, voice soft. Sarah felt it, the manipulation, but couldn't name it. Jung would point to the sister's persona, the poor little victim, masking a shadow of entitlement and control. When Sarah finally asked the right question, the act shattered. Her sister's real face peeked through, and it wasn't pretty. Jung knew this. Manipulators don't survive exposure. Their shadow's their weakness, and your strength. So, what's this question that terrifies them? Jung's insight into the unconscious gives us the ammo. Manipulators bank on your hesitation, your politeness, your fear of rocking the boat. But you can flip that script with one razor-sharp move. Here's how to wield it, step by step, and watch their mask hit the floor. First, map their game. Look for the pattern. They guilt you, dodge accountability, twist your reality. That friend who forgets to repay you but always has excuses. That partner who blames you for their tantrums. That boss who needs you to stay late while they clock out. Write it down. See it for what it is. Second, time it right. Catch them in the act. Mid-guilt trip, mid-lie, mid-charm offensive. Don't let them prep. Hit them when they're leaning on that persona hard. Third, drop the bomb. Why do you need me to feel this way? Say it slow, calm, unflinching, eyes on theirs. Why do you need me to feel guilty? Why do you need me to doubt myself? Why do you need me to fix this for you? Make it fit their play, specific, personal, pointed. It's short, simple, and brutal, because it names their shadow's motive, the one thing they don't want you to see. Fourth, brace for the fallout and watch close. Jung knew manipulators can't handle their hidden drives being called out. The persona stumbles. The shadow panics. They might freeze. Sarah's sister went silent, mouth agape. They might deflect. What are you talking about? Or snap, don't be ridiculous. They might even flip to rage or tears, anything to dodge the mirror you've held up. That's the crack. Proof the mask's slipping. Fifth, stand firm. Don't explain, don't soften it, just wait. Silence is your ally now. Let their reaction fill it. Their squirming, their stuttering, their sudden shift. It's the shadow showing its teeth. Don't blink. You've got them. Let's run it through with Mark. His boss was a classic, piled on work with fake praise. You're the only one I trust. Mark smelled the manipulation, but felt stuck. One day, mid-favor, he asked, "Why do you need me to feel responsible for this?" The boss blinked, laughed it off. "I don't," then got snippy all week. The charm faded. The control freak peeked out. Mark saw it clear. Try it yourself. Next manipulator you spot, pick your moment, ask the question. I did. Hit a needy friend with, "Why do you need me to feel bad for you?" She sputtered, backpedaled, then ghosted for days. Jung's right. Name the shadow and they're naked. That question isn't just a line. It's a sledgehammer. Jung knew manipulators rule in your doubt. Light them up and they've got nowhere to hide. Stop swallowing their bait. Your gut's been screaming the truth all along. Why do you need me to feel this way? Flips the power. Makes their shadow blink. Their real self show. Sarah's sister stopped asking for handouts. Couldn't face the exposure. Mark's boss eased off. Couldn't play the game anymore. You're not imagining it. You're seeing it now. You don't need to shrink, apologize, or tiptoe around them. You need to stand tall. One question, one breath, and their control's dust. Jung's shadow doesn't lie. It hides till you call its name. Test it today. Pick your manipulator, spot their next move, ask it. Watch the universe back you. Synchronicity flows when you stop feeding their lie. Their next step after the mask falls doesn't matter. You're free. Who's been pulling your strings? What's their trick? Tell me below. I'm here. Share this if it lit a fire. Subscribe for more Jung firepower. Their true face is waiting. Rip it off.